Dear student, in today's lecture, we will go in detail with the regulatory requirements for the drug approval, Unit 3. When we talk about the regulatory requirements and the drug approval, so every company, every country have their own regulatory departments. They have their own role. They have their own understanding and rules depending upon their country's requirement or the people requirement. So we in earlier lectures we discussed that there are national level regulatory departments and international level regulatory departments are there, like WHO, ICS, like and like CDSCO. There is USFDA. So these are some related to the country. So the regulatory requirements for the drug approval, there are various stages of drug development. Okay, means how drug get developed. So there are various stages. Number one is the discovery and development. After discovery of a new molecule, that new molecule goes that for that preclinical research, and then after preclinical research, clinical research means its clinical activity study. Then FDA reviews all the data, preclinical and clinical data, and then after review of the data, if they found that data is giving satisfactory result, they give approval to that product, and after approval product come into the market, and its safety is monitored. We can say that pharmacovigilance study is there, pharmacovigilance departments are there. They study about the drug toxicity or drug efficacy, drug dose, whether to monitor the drug, whether to change the drug dose, toxicity is there, we have to withdraw or not. So likewise, post-market survey is carried out, and that report is again submitted. So in when we talk about this first step, drug discovery and development, so a new molecule, initially it takes so much year. Now there is computer technologies, there's software technologies there. So already that due to that artificial intelligence, new molecule get developed primarily over the computer screen, and its efficacy is judged using the model, and if it is found okay, then its synthesis is started. So generally this drug discovery takes around 10 to 12 years. Okay, and this drug discovery requires a team of the scientists. Okay, large number of scientists is required. Large number of departments are developed. Many departments are there. They come together in the drug development. So there are various stages of this drug development, and during these drug development stages, that team decides that whether this product, the develop medicine or develop, we can say they have here the drug, should be able to work over the that particular disease or against that particular disease for which it is intended to be used. Okay, so it is judge. Then when we talk about this team which involve in development, there are certain responsibilities are there. So number one is the reviewing research results from experiments, means whatsoever experiment they carry out, they got the result, so they have to review that result. Okay, then they have to generate that data. After generation of data, they have to gather that data, or they have to compile that data, or they have to integrate that data. Means there may be various departments are there. Each department have different that responsibility. So all the data generated from the different department get collected. Then we have to do the research. Okay, for that we have to plan the study for what, to characterize that particular drug. After that data is generated related to that drug, whether it is liquid, solid, melting point, or all these things, then we have to go with its characterization. Then preparing a detailed drug development plan, including designation of the key point or the development milestone. What are the various steps? Generally, in our record also we write various steps. Okay, which precautions you have to take, what temperature is maintained, temperature, conditions, time, likewise. So generating a timeline for completion and defining the critical path. Then after that, monitoring the status of the research studies to ensure that they are being conducted according to the timeline and critical path in the development plan, and if appropriate, modifying the plan as new information become available. Means we prepare some plan, but after some more study, we found that it requires changes. So that changes can be included. Then comparing research results and development status and timeline with drug candidates under development by competitors. Okay, we have to go with the timeline. How much time is required for development of stage 1, steps 2, stage 3, because we should not behind the competitors. Okay. Then conducting appropriate market survey to ensure that the development of the drug candidate is economically justifies and continues to meet the medicinal need. Means if we develop a medicine, but such types of disease is very rare, or it is not used by the patients, or ultimately not prescribed by the doctor, there is uh, no need to prepare, or no need to synthesize, or no need to market such types of drug, because if we enter this molecule into the market, so there is very less sale or no sale. So all as and when the time, money of the manufacturer or the researcher or the sponsorer will be waste. So we have to first do the market survey, that does this molecule will work, or will be we will be able to sell this molecule. Then reporting the status of the drug development program to management. Management means the person who is sponsor or the company owner, and making recommendations on the continued development of the drug candidate. Means what happened during the development stage, they found that this drug is have efficacy over XYZ disease. So they have to uh, said to management that it is more efficient, more effective for this XYZ disease, and if we bring this drug into the market, there is huge market or huge sale of this drug. So we have to keep in mind that we have to update all the development to the management. Then various types of project teams which are involved in this drug development process. So the number one is the project team. Project team means what? It is a small group of researcher, and it is the first project team, and it is called a discovery project team. Very small group is there. Their primary responsibility is to identify the compound or the class of compound worthy of continued research. Means see, cancer is spreading very fast, so they may be identifying one category of drug which is more active over the cancer. So they suggest that if we develop a medicament in this category, if by changing the structure or by adding some functional group to this Y molecule, we will get the Z molecule which is having a more efficacy over that Y molecule. So this is the responsibility of the project team. So they frame initially they frame the basic requirement. Then the initial efforts may consist of screening existing compound in the company's archive or the libraries of the compound obtained by the use of combinatorial chemistry techniques for activities. There are so many softwares are available. um, that software suggests that if we modify this structure or we add some functional group, it may improve or decrease the efficacy of that particular drug, or it may have some another pharmacological action. Libraries बोलते हैं उसको online, and that library have so much data related to common compounds. Then the primary endpoint used in this assessment is the potency of the various lead compounds in the disease model. The pharmacology results are started with the chemist, who then prepare analogs of the most active compounds to explore further the SAR. So generally after the screening, they come to end that these 2 or 3 molecules are there. If we make changes over this molecule, SAR, that is the structure activity relationship, so we may get new product. The result of the preliminary studies are integrated with the biological activity data. So biological activity of that particular drug is studied, and that new developed molecule is studied, and then it is compared. If problems are encountered, the previously generated SAR information used to develop the new compound. If they found that it is not of use, it doesn't have any pharmacological action, they just simply discard that moiety. They again work over the basic moiety and they add some another structure. They may change some structural information. So they get the new molecule. Then this is a very continuous process, and so that's why we initially told that it requires 10 to 12 years to develop a new molecule. Then after developing some molecules, they check that, or they ensures that change did not advisory affect the desirable characteristics and did sustain substantially alter the previously defined undesirable characteristics. Means we are changing one molecule by adding another group. We have to keep in mind that the basic that activity of that drug will not change, but it will improve. Okay, that we have to study. So this process continues until a lead compound is identified, till we get a compound. Once a project is that particular compound is discovered and it is accepted by the management, this team is either disbanded or they continue with the next team. Okay, they may be the part of the next team. The next team is the principal drug development project team. Okay, after management accepts that the molecule identified or synthesized by the drug development team is okay, we can work over it, so this team comes into action. So in addition to the scientific discipline, for example, pharmacology, means the person from pharmacology is there, chemistry, toxicology, drug metabolism, and pharmacokinetics and biopharmaceutics. The researchers from various scientific disciplines are involved. Okay, other than this scientific discipline, they are the management. Management is involved. Why? What is its role? They assign project team leader and coordinator who are responsible for development of the drug candidate. Their main role is to appoint a leader who will look after the all the development process. Then regulatory affair. Again, its role is to that develop or comply the regulatory requirements or the documents for that particular regulatory, or as per that particularly regulatory department of that particular company. So they ensure that the developmental studies meet regularly requirements and are conducted according to regulatory guidelines. Then Then clinical researchers are there. They provide input into the study and they design this study in such a way that the result which they get, okay, that results is supporting to that proposed clinical program and to initiate development of clinical safety and tolerance and efficacy protocols and the investigators brochure. Okay, means clinic, what is its role to do, to study that clinical that to study that drug in clinical view and to generate the results, okay, and match it with that requirements. Then analytical chemist, again they will go with that analytical studies, okay. Then manufacturing chemist, they will work over that requirements, regulatory requirements, GMP, GLP, okay, how from where we can generate or procure the quality raw materials required for manufacturing. So every department, okay, every department like management, they assign the project team leader. Regulatory affair, they provide, they procure, they prepare the documents related to the regulatory approval. Clinical researchers, clinical data get generated. Analytical chemists, analytical data generates. Then manufacturing chemists, they go with that manufacturing requirements, regulatory requirement. Then marketing expert, they go to the market, they see that whether such types of product is in the market. If it is so, then what are the advantages of your product? If it is not, the another category is available, then their advantages, their doses, their frequency of administration, their rate, and all these things, they do a detailed study. Okay. Then the responsibility of the preclinical development project team is to prepare a drug development plan which lists all the studies necessary for the successful development of the drug candidate. Once the development studies are listed and integrated into a logic plan, the next aspect is to develop a timeline. Means timeline means what? What is the first step? What is the second step? What is the third step? How much time is required for first, second, third? How much time is required for regulatory procedure, for analytical procedure, for development of the plant, um, its GMP, GLP regulations. The timeline is prepared. The completed drug development plan is presented and accepted by the management. Then it is presented in front of the management. The management may suggest some changes if required or not, then they accept it. One of the final responsibilities of the preclinical drug development project team is to prepare an IND. IND means investigational new drug, okay, and to submit the appropriate document to the FDA or other regulatory agency, because it is a new drug, investigational. Before preclinical study, it is called the IND, and they submit to the FDA that this molecule we are going to synthesize, and we need a clinical we need a permission for the clinical study. So this procedure is carried out by this regulatory affair department. So this regulatory affair department not involved in this research or development or this marketing. Their role is to only prepare a documents related to that particular company, to study their regulatory requirement and convey it to drug development team, or convey it to marketing team, or to convey it to analytical development team that this is the requirement, this is the minimum requirement, this is the maximum impurities this company or this country accepts. So that's why they will be able to develop that product as per the requirement of that country. So that's why that product get approved, not rejected for that company. If that product get rejected, huge money spent over that product, okay, will be waste. Then after preclinical, clinical drug development project team. So you are very, now I think that you very well understand about what is the responsibility of the preclinical drug development project team. Okay. Then the clinical drug development project team. So after the IND is subjected, submitted, the project team is assigned again expanded to include the new member. Clinical means the clinical efficacy, pharmacological activity, toxicological study is carried out. For that, they require a physicians. So generally, we knows that clinical studies are carried out in phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Then clinical research associates (CRA), who coordinate and monitor the phase 1, 2, and 3. See, these clinical research studies are carried out by physicians. CRA is role is to monitor, okay, to prepare a document, to monitor the results, what result that physicians observe, what document they got from the physicians, and manufacturing department is there to coordinate the development of the drug substance and the drug product production facilities. Then quality control to ensure that the appropriate assay are developed, validated, means uh, the label what we are claiming over the label, that drug is there, what we are saying that impurity or related substances are within the limit, so it should be studied by the quality control department. Okay. So these are the uh, main leaders in this clinical drug development project team. Physician, clinical research associate, manufacturing department person, and quality control person. The statisticians are there. Statisticians are mainly used to that generate the data. Okay, that data is generated to compile that data to get the statistical result, whether it is pass or fail the test. Likewise, okay. So to assist in designing clinical protocols and in evaluating generated results, to evaluate the results, these statisticians are involved. Then the clinical pharmacokinetic persons. So person from the clinical pharmacokinetic department. So generally when we carry out the phase 1 study, so to support it and to go further for the next phases, okay, that the data they got, okay, the data they got during the study, they compile it, they study it. Then marketing department, after the product get approved and its synthesis or development is started, marketing team work side by side. They go into the market, they study the potential of that particular drug during the sale, how much sale will be there, likewise, and they convey it to the management. Then the final responsibility of the clinical project team is to ensure that all the research study are appropriately documented, means it is written properly, reports are generated, it is proper references are collected. Okay. Then after that all the study is carried out and it submits, okay, to say FDA. So question is raised, okay, regulatory authorities raise some questions, they have some concerns related to the study. So this committee uh, um, answers to that questions. Okay. If requested, the project team designs and conducts the necessary research study to support the submission. FDA, if FDA officers not satisfied with your answers, you have to carry out some clinical study, you have to carry out some evaluation study, and again you have to submit that data. Okay. And once the ND or BLA has been approved, the final responsibility of the clinical development team is to coordinate the launch of new therapeutic agent. See, IND, NDA, BLA, we will go in detail, okay, in next lecture. IND means investigational new drug application. Before going to that clinical study, we have to file it. And new drug application means what? After we carry out this clinical study, we go for the marketing. So NDA is there. Then We will go in various phases of this drug development. So initially we will go with the non-clinical drug development. What is the meaning? How we go with this non-clinical drug development? The drug discovery industry typically follows one of two methods to identify hits and lead compound. Number one is the the phenotype or the physiology. Substances are characterized in accordance to their physiological effect. Okay, based on disease, फिजियोलॉजी क्या है उसका, कौन से डिसीज में यूज होंगे. सेकंड इज टारगेट बेस्ड अप्रोच, मींस for which side we are going to use this drug. Likewise, target based approach. Then the non-clinical or preclinical development is primarily aims to identify that particular drug, okay, will be suitable for that XYZ disease. Okay, this is their first role. So uh, uh, initially going through all the steps, if they found that that particular drug candidate is fitting to all the requirements, and we can go with the development in the clinical trials. So they go with that regulatory department and they say that this product is worth to prepare and to synthesize. Now you go with the regulatory requirement, you go with the pharmacokinetics department or toxicological department, and they say that now you go and you study pharmacokinetic properties, toxicological properties of that particular drug. Okay, so this is the main role. Then the non-clinical drug development studies are carried out in three ways. Number one, in silico. Second one is the in vivo, and third one is the in vitro. In silico means what? When we use some software, we use computers. Okay, it is called as the in silico. Okay, so it defines the use of information in the creation of the computational models are the simulations that can be used to make predictions. So simulations are there. If we have this structure, whether it will fit over this receptor, there is the structure of the receptor, structure of the drug. They try to find out the percent, how much percent that drug fits. Then what are the advantages? The speed of execution. It is very speedy. What happen if we don't use computer? You have to develop that drug. We have to go with the several steps. After development, we have to go with the preclinical. And in preclinical means in animal study, we came to know that it is not working. So as and when our time, money is wasted. But in computer, what we do, we have the library. In that library, that particular structures are available, and we try to fit the structure of our drug. So speed of execution. Then low cost is there because only a computer and software is required. It saves time, it saves money. Okay, and ability to reduce the use of animal. This is again the very main thing. Nowadays this in silico technology is very much in use, so that's why we can save the animals. Okay. Some molecular dockings are there. So in vitro and ex vivo assay, the next one. So we generally carry out in our routine work, that is the in vitro and ex vivo assay. So these studies are performed in controlling environment outside the living organism. So here we perform the assay related to that particular drug. Some tests are carried out for the evaluation, their biological activity. Okay, and from this assay or biological activity, we take some human skin or some marine origin uh, materials to go uh, such types of study. Then through these in vitro assays, it is possible to observe the activity of the substance upon different features such as induction of the cell death, proliferation, changes in the gene expression, changes in the protein profile, biochemical doses of the mediators, changes in the cell cycle assessment, multi-drug resistance potential. Okay, so this in vitro evaluation carried out in the cell. Generally, we use some cell lines. Okay, particular cell lines are there, cancer cell line, or that particular organ is there. So that particular organ cell line is there. That over that cell line, drug is studied. A small number of animals are used for biological material harvest. For example, smooth muscle of the GIT we use, airways or urinary tract or blood vessels or some muscles we use generally in our practical cells. We use just muscles of the rat. We not use the entire rat. So the we can save the animal. Recently, a 3D printing of tissue and organ has been developed with characteristics and functions similar to the human organ. So this 3D printing is model developed through 3D printing is used. Next one is the in vivo assays. Means here we use the animal or the humans for the study. So once the identification of the candidate compound is completed, the non-clinical development should start answering the following questions. Does it work? Assessment of the efficacy. We assess its efficacy. यानी एक चलेगा क्या, काम करेगा क्या, हेडेक के लिए तो हेडेक बैठे दूर करेगा क्या. So here we assess its efficacy. How it will be delivered and how will the body react. Means here we go with the profiling. Okay, then is it safe? So for that we go with the toxicological study. Is the manufacture viable and controllable? It is possible to manufacture. It is all steps is control or not, that we have to study. Then the non-clinical development activities can be continued throughout the life cycle of the product. It is we have to carry it out throughout the life cycle. So in this pharmacology, various pharmacological approaches to the drug discovery is studies. Okay, so pharmacology study is there, interaction between the drug molecule, its target, its consequences, spacing of drug into the market is study. Then selectivity testing is there in this pharmacological study. Uh, then pharmacological profiling is there. Then safety pharmacology is there. So initially, it consists of the two main stages: selectivity testing, screening for selectivity and binding assay, and to determine the potency of the drug, the selectivity of the compound for a chosen molecular target need to be assessed. सो जो टारगेट हमने लिया है, जो सेल जहाँ पे हमको एक्टिवेट करना है, या तो फिर जो रिसेप्टर है, तो वहां पे हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा, इसके लिए हम लोग सिलेक्टिविटी टेस्टिंग करते हैं. देन फार्माकोलॉजिकल प्रोफाइलिंग यानी इट गिविंग दैट फार्माकोलॉजिकल इफेक्ट, okay, or not, that we study. Then safety pharmacology means whether we get a desired effect or not, or whether we get less desired effect or more effect, so we can say that it is the toxicity. So this is the pharmacological evaluation step for that particular drug which we already study. Then drug last is the drug metabolism and toxicological study. Again, when drug enter into the body, how it get metabolized. After metabolism, the byproducts is generated. So whether that byproduct is harmful to the body or not, that we have to study. If there is some toxicological effects are there, so whether it is having so much toxicological effect, it may affecting some organs like liver or not, that we have to study. Okay, so this toxicology study, here we go with the safety effect. So this study includes defining no observable toxic effect dose, maximum tolerated dose, and some potential toxicology effect. Some acute toxicity, long-term toxicity is there. This is the references you can refer. Okay, fda.gov is there. Few research papers are also there. You can refer that product papers.